Howdy everyone, this is your host Fabiana Rosario and welcome to Wannabe LetterBoxd, which will be a 10-week series where I pick apart and dissect each Best Picture nominee of this Oscar season 1 week at a time. So, contrary to popular belief, this series isn't necessarily going to be a recap of each film, just talking about plot XYZ. And it's not going to be a, did I like it or not, 5 stars, here's my 1-sentence LetterBoxd review as per usual. This week, or each week, I'm going to be talking about why the movie is gaining as much traction as it is, what I took away from the movie, commentary I enjoyed, what I liked, what I didn't like, really just kind of going in depth in my opinions for sure. And what qualifies me for this is a chronically online college student who, in fact, doesn't have much else to do except watch a lot of movies. And I enjoy movies more than I enjoy a lot of other boring activities. So one can say that I'm quite qualified to do this. My LetterBoxd account is one of my most prized possessions, which is why I like to call myself Wannabe LetterBoxd. My 4 favorite films are my pride and joys, and I love watching movies and adding little reviews on them all the time. So for this week, drumroll please, we are kicking things off with the one, the only, maybe the most talked about film in this entire season is Sinners, directed by the one, the only Ryan Coogler, famously known for directing Black Panther, all the Creed movies. He's, let's just say Michael B. Jordan is his muse and Ryan Coogler is the painter, of course. So this film, obviously it's about vampires. Everyone I feel like is very confused as to how this film has managed to go from point A to point B, especially up into the Oscar nominees, breaking records like Titanic and La La Land and gaining the most Oscar nominees for one film of all time. So I feel like it was the perfect film to start off this week, and it just might be my favorite one that I've seen this year so far. So I felt like it was a great start to our podcast. So to start off our chit chat about this movie, I decided I would give probably my bare bones opinion of it. And my LetterBoxd review was, in fact, 5 stars for this film, of course. Michael B. Jordan absolutely knocks it out of the park. Ryan Coogler does a phenomenal job directing. The cinematography is beautiful. The aspect change once they get to the juke joint is magnificent. The music of the film is probably one of my favorite soundtracks to date. The performances are all out of the park. The messaging is amazing. And truthfully, just such a well-made movie. And a movie that uses a trope such as vampires and thriller and music and things like that, and tucks in such important themes about civil rights, religion, and just art as a whole. And I think it's such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful film. So truly, let's start, I guess, with the direction of the film. So this is one of Coogler's, I feel like, most well put together films. I have personally enjoyed Black Panther and Creed to the maximum. They are both incredible films, but I feel like Sinners is really, I feel like, a culmination of all of his incredible work and just him at his best, truly. And from a directing standpoint, it's probably one of his most successful films of all time. I mean, the cinematography is beautiful. The coloring of the film is exquisite. Truly, I love the warm and cool tones they use, especially warm tones for the juke joint. It's joyous, it's great. And then, once they step outside, it's cold with the vampires, XYZ. I just feel like it's such a good contrast, and the film is just so incredibly aesthetically appealing to the eye. The sound is incredible. The music is, again, stunning. I truly have had Last Time I Seen the Sun, I Lied to You, and Pale Pale Moon on my playlist on repeat. The soundtrack is exquisite. Thank you so much to Ryan Coogler for incorporating music in a film in such a purposeful way. I feel like a lot of times people put musical numbers in that have no purpose and do not drive the story at all, yet the heart of the story is the preacher boy Sammy's music and how it ties him to his culture. I just think it's so freaking awesome and incredible. And really, I feel like about the theme of the movie, I just feel like it's just a compilation of just such important messaging, I feel like, for this time period. I feel like it's a film about accountability, not necessarily about someone's personal guilt or convictions, but collective guilt, culturally. So it's when violence and greed are, inherited rather than chosen, because obviously the vampires, at least the first few in the film, one is Irish and the other 2 are from the Ku Klux Klan. And if you know anything about history, especially with the KKK, like they inherited a lot of negative mindsets, XYZ, and then same with like the Irish, they also face a lot of prejudice, so like therefore then causes them to act XYZ way, which I feel like is such an interesting, I feel like two sides of the same coin in regard to the vampires that later turn in the movie, as in Michael B. Jordan's twin, and Haley Steinfeld's character. I just feel like it's really an interesting way to incorporate cultural messaging in such a tone that you absorb the message without necessarily realizing that you are. And as for performances in the film, they are all honestly top freaking tier. Michael B. Jordan plays two very, very different characters, Smoke and Stack. One twin who is harbored by grief, who is dealing with the loss of his child, having to leave his wife or partner, and is more responsible, level-headed. And then there's the other twin who is lively and reckless, but he sacrificed the love of his life to make sure she was safe and wasn't being prejudiced or attacked by the KKK, who was in the area at the time because she was mixed and was white passing. I just feel like it's such an interesting dynamic. Haley Steinfeld is great in the film. Honestly, I feel like she really tapped back into her previous acting abilities, which I think is awesome. Miles Caton, breakout star, truly like the heart of the film, and along with Michael B. Jordan, he does an incredible job of making us want to root for him and have empathy for him and understand his moral dilemma. And I just think it's, truly awesome. Everyone in the film is awesome, and Michael B. Jordan and oh my goodness, the other actor that got a supporting nom, he also deserved, deserved. Every Oscar nomination this film has gained, it is 110% deserved. And as for why this film I feel like resonated with a lot of people, I feel like it's just, it doesn't simplify, conviction and goodness and evil. Like, I feel like it sits in this uncomfortable place where your own personal choices can ultimately teeter the line between quote unquote evil and good. And I feel like the message isn't about punishment. It's about who is forced to carry the weight of one's decisions. And I feel like it uses the genre of thriller and horror to drive this through. And I feel like it's a really great way to showcase what generational cycles look like in such a timeless way, especially with vampires that are such a generational, I feel like, character and trope, that it just really manages to carry along the messaging really successfully. And Sinners just feels very personal and just so well curated and made that I really do think that's why it resonates with audiences so much, truly. So to wrap up this episode, I do want to talk about Sinners' Oscar chances. So, okay, well, yes, obviously we know that Sinners has been nominated for Best Picture, and it has been for the other award season award shows, as in the actor awards, Golden Globes, the whole thing, SAG, everything really. BAFTAs, the whole thing. And I really do think that it warranted every nomination it got, and I personally am rooting for it to win Best Picture and snag some more nominations. Do I believe the chances are? I do believe the chances are decently high. However, I do feel like they're having a bit of a tough competition with one battle after another, which we will touch on in another week's episode, of course. That and Hamnet, I feel like they're kind of battling them back and forth. So I feel like it's a toss-up between those three. I'm just really hoping it pulls throughout the Oscars because the messaging of the film is just incredible. And like I said, I've probably been quote unquote glazing this movie this whole episode, but it truly just is that movie, and I feel like it was the perfect movie to start off this series with. But yeah, is it the front runner? Perchance not, but it does feel like the kind of film that is going to be with viewers for a very, very long time, myself included. So yeah, I feel like that is what to recap our episode. And next week I will be breaking down one battle after another, which couldn't be more different in tone probably from Sinners, but I'm really excited to watch it and let you guys know my thoughts and its chance to the Oscars. So thanks for listening, and I'll see you guys next week.